Hi guys, it's that time of year again. I haven't done one of these for over a year, so I thought I'd do a little room tour because quite a bit has changed again since the last time I did one of these. So yeah, there might not be one next year because I think now I've squeezed in pretty much as I can. So yeah, we'll start off with a nice little bit of Vixen there. Look, that was a nice poster we all prized back in the day, and it's good to get that one. I picked that up a few months ago from Side Ginger Hippie Gaming. Up here I added a few shelves just to store some of my sort of Blu-rays and 4Ks. So I've got Beast from 20,000 Fathoms up there, look, Giant Behemoth, Gorgo in 4K, Reptilicus also in 4K. Then just some of my BBC micro discs, actual original ones. White Light is brilliant, as is Uridium, Crazy Rider, Galaforce, Codename Droid, which is of course a sequel to Striker's Run. So yeah, that's just some of my BBC micro games. This is always in my background. A few people have asked about this. I think I've talked about it before, but yeah, it's a UK quad cinema poster from back in the early 70s. Monsters from an Unknown Planet. I think that was 1975, if I remember rightly. Yeah, it arrived. I picked it up off eBay, but it was in really bad condition. And there were loads of rips and all sort of damping that I got to it, I think. But yeah, there were some pretty drastic rips through. I don't know if you can see those. So it was in a bad way. And somebody had tried repairing it with just ordinary masking tape all over the back. And not very well. It wasn't well taped together. So yeah, I bought some proper archive tape, carefully removed all the masking tape, which was difficult to do when it's such a fragile state. So yeah, spent a lot of time recovering that, but really pleased with it. I like the aging of it. And I just think that's cool as hell. And of course, I like my Godzilla and I love Mecha Godzilla. So yeah, that's a cool piece in the room. Then we come around to here. This one I've showed off before. The Gorgo, that's from Titanic Creations, 30 centimeter Gorgo there. Very cool indeed. Really like that one. Behind it, I showed that one a little while back. That is the VHS of Gorgo, still sealed. So yeah, nice to have that. Then we've got my Getter Blaster, which I've shown in my past video probably. This is exactly the same as my original one, except it's a two tape deck version. So yeah, thankfully I've got a photo of my my original one from my bedroom back in the 80s. So it did make it easier for me to search and find the right one. But I couldn't find a single cassette deck version, but when this one popped up with a twin, I thought, yeah, you know what? I'll go for that one instead. It's got a really nice sound, actually, so very pleased to have that. A few of my original cassettes, Goldie Timeless, absolutely seminal album there, drum and bass album. Well, so we've got a few rave tapes in that there. I've got tons of rave tapes still, so I just sort of threw a few of them around. Kemet Crew, Champion Jungle Sound, awesome album, that one. That one underneath, one I've just picked up, actually, brand new, Beck. Still sealed. I think I paid $4.50 for that. So yeah, I think that's my only Spectrum Next game that I've actually got on display. Delta Shadow, still my favourite Spectrum Next game. Don't know if you can still buy that or not, but awesome game. So let's come on down, show you what's down here, which probably hasn't changed too much. My only thing I need to change is I've got the much bigger version of that Superior Software poster, which I showed in my last video, I think, my last room tour. I had to take that down because I'm looking for a frame for it. So I'm hoping to put that back up at some point. But anyway, there we go. So not much has changed there. The BBC Master, which I showed off last time, the Competition Pro joystick. And I think I had that as well, the sort of Gotek twin drive with an actual disk drive there. There's a gaffer. Yeah, so I've got Saberwolf loaded in there at the moment on the Spectrum Next, which is there. That's probably where it was last time. Bug joystick, probably my favourite joystick of all time, the Bug. Absolutely love that by Cheetah. Just ordered another one, actually, which looks like brand new. So, yeah, and that is a really good little cassette if you're looking for one to pair with the Spectrum Next and you haven't got one yet. I don't know if it shows the model number there. I've got recommended this by Scott, Sega Zombie. And just zoom in there in case you're interested. There you go, you can see the model number there. Look. Good little, reliable. It's a dictaphone, but it's really reliable because it's mono. So, yeah, and underneath that, I think I did have the Atari 800 under here. But I've put that away. That's probably going to be sold because I only like to have things set up all the time. And I think I prefer the video pack overall, just because it's completely different. I really like the video pack games. So that goes under there. So all I've got to do is slide out and I can put the cartridges in. So yeah, that works quite well. And then, of course, I've got my good old trusty TI-99. One of my favourite computers. That was our first family computer, which I've talked about plenty back in the early 80s. I think we must have got that in about 83. Sadly, not this one. This isn't my original. It's one I bought quite a few years ago now, which kind of started the started me back onto retro stuff. So yeah, brilliant computer that. So I'll just show you a little look at what I've done with the games there. Can't remember how I had these shelves last time. But yeah, I've got all my little video pack games up there. That's probably all the ones I want, really. So yeah, what's there? There's probably about 12 carts there. Now I've probably got a couple others in boxes as well. My TI-99 Sticks of Pain. I don't use those joysticks anymore. They're not the best to use, but I keep them on display just for nostalgia. Got the 3 Parker Brothers games there. All of the Atari Soft TI-99 games. Really great little selection of games there. And then out here, I've just got some random sort of specky games more in behind there. And some Spectrum Next loose memory cards. Like I said, I don't keep those on display, so I just keep some of those there. And then up here, I've got pretty much all of my TI-99 games. I've got a real good selection. I'll probably do another video on these at some point, sort of showcasing some of them. Maybe do like my, I don't know how many I've got, maybe 60. Do my top 60 of the TI-99 games, put them all in sort of pecking order. There's a couple of new ones at the end there, so they're a bit of a spoiler alert. And yeah, there I've got some more of those OXO Cube cassette racks, which you've seen before. I've shown these before, but they keep on growing, keep on getting extras of them. They're really useful, and I like them. So then, these shelves, I think these are new. I think I had the white one there, but the grey one I added because I realised I could get some more games up there on display. So yeah, mainly TI-99 games on the bottom shelf, and up the top, sort of a mixture of classic specky small box games and some other TI-99 games as well. So yeah, all good stuff there, and they're nice on display. Just enough space for one vinyl. I did think about putting a couple of vinyls up on display, but yeah, I need the room for games. So got that one there for now. That's one of my earliest that I still own of my 12-inch records. That was from 1991, I think. I went to the concert of that one. So yeah, it's nice to have that one on display. Wendy James looking lovely there, of course. So yeah, oh, and there we go. I'm showing now what I meant to show from what I picked up from my 50th, with my 50th birthday money. But yeah, there we go. I've got all 3 of the Parker Brothers games there boxed. And yeah, some classic games there. And yes, this one is the Pegasus from Clash of the Titans by Star Ace. And that's what I spent my my birthday money from my 50th. Absolutely thrilled with that. Really beautiful thing. And it's polyresin, so it's heavy. It's not like a light plastic. And it's actually got the little light up feature there. I don't know if you can see that, but it colour changes as well. So, Booba there, or Babu. What's his name now? Can't remember now. Babu? Booba, I can't remember. That's how bad my memory is. But yeah, very cool thing. Really thrilled to get that, and I'm glad I spent my money on it. That's a nice one to keep, and even my wife likes that statue. So it might, at some point, it might even go down into the lounge. Very cool indeed. Very fragile though. I did break one of the tips of the feathers off when I was unpacking it, so I had to glue that back on. So anyway, we come round up to here. Oh, but there, look, got that from somebody, Morgan, somebody on Facebook. 3D Retro Tributes, I think, is his little site where he sells those. Really cool. He sold that cheap because it had a bit of a misprint on it, and I used to love bods, so couldn't resist it. So then I squeezed. I think this is a little bit different. I had a nice little gap here, so I squeezed in one of those little IKEA units, which is where I store a lot of games, as you can see, and down through the wall beside it, I've just put some little hangers for TI-99 games. So yeah, it's really good storage, keeps them nice and neat out of the way. And yeah, so it's mainly specky games there, but I have my Spectrum Next collection as well. Look, got some cool games there. A few PlayStation 1, but yeah, mainly specky. And God blimey, excuse the sun, it's absolutely flying in now. Typical, isn't it? Trying to do a video. So yeah, you can see my TI-99 games going down through. And I don't think I had this one I did last video, the Centipede cabinet. I bought that with some of the money that my auntie left me in a will. I'm going to have to close the blinds, you know, it's typical of this. It's not been sunny like this today. Yeah, it's affecting the camera. But yeah, my auntie left me some money in her will, and I bought the Centipede cabinet. I got that for 250 quid from Game before they got taken over by, was it JD Sports that bought them out? Love it. Absolutely love that cabinet. It's really cool. You've got quite a lot of good games on here, and you've got the little trackball and the spinner and everything. Really do like that. So yeah, that's new. Fit in there. There you go. You can see the sun crashing in. Squeeze another shelf in there just to put some of my favourite sort of racing type games. WEC Le Mans, Badlands, that's an Amiga one, but the others are Specky, Stunt Car Racer, and that you'll have seen before my flying shark framed print with signed by Oliver Frey. Absolutely love that. That artwork is just awesome. That's my favourite art from Oliver Frey. I remember it when it was on the cover of Your Sinclair? No, Crash magazine. Yeah, awesome. Dog bed under there. Let's get round to this side. So here, these things all fit in really well, actually. I've got my SNES there. That is my original SNES. I've discussed it before. One of the few original consoles I've still got. Spectrum Plus 2, that's what I grew up with. My first computer that I bought myself, bought that originally I bought it in 1987, I think. So that's what I had. Oh, speaking of which, you can see in here, there's my little display cabinet I've got to show. Yeah, there you go. There's a photo of me on my old Specky Plus 2. Look. Yeah. Playing lay down on the floor. That's the way I used to do back in the day. Yeah, so I'll show you this cabinet before I go over the other side. So that at the back there, Demons and Wizards, Uriah Heep. I bought that not that long ago, actually, on vinyl, but this one now in the background, that's actually my late uncle's original LP. My dad bought around a load of his LPs recently, and that was in there. So I thought, I'll put that on display. Awesome artwork as well, and nice to have some stuff from my late Uncle Terry. Yeah, lovely man he was. And these are just some of my original bits and bobs. I haven't got much stuff from my childhood, but yeah, my little Dukes of Hazzard car. I remember getting that when I had a long dentist appointment, and I behaved really well. So Mum said, "Okay, I'll get you that little Dukes of Hazzard car you wanted." These little lead figures. I've actually got quite a lot more of these in a bag somewhere, but never actually played Dungeons and Dragons. But I used to enjoy painting them, so I used to go and buy the lead figures, bring them home and paint them. And that little dinosaur, I used to have loads of dinosaurs like that. That was just in a bag of Lego that I still had left over after all years. So I found that. You can see where I used to chew the top bit, that sort of dorsal fin. Little, what was it? Was it Twiggy he was called? The concert ticket there from my first ever concert. That's Transvision Vamp one. Was that 1991? Yeah, 1991. Signed by Wendy James herself. Met her out the back. Yeah, that was worth doing. That was probably my best lead figure. I remember buying that. I was so thrilled to get it home because it's pretty big. I don't know if you can see a scale of it, but it's quite a large, heavy figure, that is. Yeah, very cool. My painting was never the best, but I wouldn't repaint it because that's what I painted back in the day. So, yeah. Same with these two here. A couple of other cool lead figures. Like I said, I've got loads more of them. Those Black Sabbath cassettes. I was nuts on Black Sabbath. I think I had all of their albums. But at some point, as we do, I got rid of most of the stuff, but thankfully I kept some of them. So those are my oldest original cassettes that I've still got. Master of Reality is probably the best album of theirs. Awesome album. But yeah, those two compilations, I kept those because that covers most of the best Black Sabbath songs on those. And that little thing I've talked about before, that is rebought, but that was the first and only really little LCD handheld gaming thing that I had. So yeah, when I saw that for sale, it took me a while to find out which one it was, but that's the exact one that I had. So when I saw that, I thought, yes, I'll take that. Good fun to play. My little tribute to Chaos, which I won't bang on about that because I've talked about it enough, but that was my favourite. Well, still is my favourite game of all time, Chaos, on the ZX Spectrum. So I've got almost all of the versions of it, but I'll probably never get the big box, sadly. So yeah, that's on there as well. Look. Yeah. So yeah, they're quite expensive to pick up now, so I'm glad I've got them. Another one of those retro tribute things. Universe Big Love, one of the best raves I ever went to back in 1993. Special event for me because me and my best mate went there, and we had such an awesome time. He's no longer with us, so it just got a lot of memories for me, that event, or lack of should be as well. And that one I rebought fairly recently. That is the same Walkman that I used to have. That was my favourite of all my Walkmans I had. Really cool, really slim, not much bigger than a cassette. Yeah, I wish I'd kept my original, but that one's all in working order, so quite cool. Nice to have that, so I couldn't resist it. And then this, I think I discussed in my last video as well, so I won't go on too much, but yeah, that's my original Space Lego there. The only non-original bit is that little piece of base there. I got that later just so I could sort of finish it off to put it on one shelf. But yeah, all the other bits, that's all my original Space Lego from, was it the 80s or 70s? 1980s, I think. I had tons more. I had absolutely loads of Space Lego. But yeah, I gave the rest of it away to a family friend a few years ago. But thankfully, I decided to make up a piece for display first to keep, because I don't have much of my childhood stuff. So yeah, really pleased I kept that. And this television, which you'll have seen before, that's the first big purchase I made when I was a kid. Wanted this exact television. Well, not this exact one, but it was exactly the same. It does work. It's all in good working order, but I can't find anywhere to put it at the moment. So it's just down there. So I'd like to set that up again at some point. But yeah, for now, it's just a display piece. So let's come back round again then. So there we go. So we've got Specky, bit of Super Mario Kart there on the SNES. Got my Amiga there. Oh, cup of tea. Just have a quick sip of that a minute. Bear with me. Lovely copper. Yeah, that is my original Amiga. I had it serviced a little while back, but I think I mentioned before, I did put a mouldy disc in there, unfortunately. So the discs are really fussy about loading. So I have to find a way of getting in there and clean it. I should give that more use because I haven't played that in ages. But yeah, that's my oldest original computer there. I don't know when I bought that. Must have been early 90s, I suppose. Maybe 1991-ish, something like that. So yeah, that runs on that screen. I've got it plugged in as well there. So all these systems I can sort of alternate. And then, of course, the Vectrex, which I picked up earlier this year. Absolutely thrilled with that. So cool. Really love the Vectrex. And yeah, some of the karts there, some of my favourite ones. Obviously, I've got Vector Pilot loaded in there at the moment. But Vector Patrol, that little multi-kart there I got recently from Owl's Arcade. He gifted me that along with a couple other bits and bobs. So yeah, really thankful for that. And it's brilliant. So now I can play a lot more Vectrex games. Virazon, that's also a really cool homebrew game. And Bedlam, enjoy that. There we go with the OXO holders again. Yeah, I have got a lot of them. So that's most of my single cassette Specky games. I really like these OXO things because you can just add to them as you go. They just all sort of interlock. And again, they're a nostalgia thing for me because I used to have a few of them. So then let's come up to the Godzilla shelf. I've talked about these plenty, but yeah, that's my favourite Godzilla suit of all time, the 1974 Godzilla. Still absolutely love that. Thrilled to have it. It's 30 centimetres, that one. By X Plus. Is it polyresin, this one? But yeah, it's quite heavy. Really nice quality and really nicely done. So that's that one, along with the matching VHS cassette behind. Then we've got Godzilla -1. I got that last year, I think. Or beginning of this year, can't remember. Yeah, last year I got that one. Nice figure, actually. That is by Namco. No, I can't remember. Bandai Spirits or something. It is a statue. There's no articulation or anything to it. But I did think it didn't come with that little tail stand. I just put that underneath it because I think it just puts it in a better sort of aggressive kind of position. So if you do pick up one of these, I'd recommend propping a stand up, and you'll see what I mean. It sits a lot better. Yeah, nice thing that is. And then, I have shown this one before. Shin Godzilla, Fourth Form, the Awakening one. Awesome. That's my favourite statue out of all of them, just because it just looks so cool. I've got all the colours and that in there. If you haven't seen Shin Godzilla, it's well worth a watch. Really, really cool. Very different Godzilla movie to the others. And yeah, that's a beautiful statue. So yeah, I got that. Must have been beginning of this year, maybe, or late last year. I can't remember. This is the most recent one. I've had this still a few months, but yeah, this is the most recent one. Can't remember if I've ever shown it before. And that is the Cybot Godzilla from the Return of Godzilla, or Godzilla the Legend is Reborn, which is the VHS I showed off recently, which I've got standing behind it, so you can see a likeness. Yeah, really cool. I love that Cybot. In that film, they had two Godzillas. They had the rubber suit one, and then for the sort of close-up scenes, they had the Cybot, which was a great big mechanical Godzilla, basically. Had a really cool effect. So I love that. Really nice detail in it. Again, that's X Plus. That's another 30 centimetres, but it's quite a lot bigger than the others. I don't know if you can see how far back I can get, but yeah, they're all supposed to be 30 centimetres, but the Cybot is rightly the biggest. Yeah, very cool. Then I've got my Pac-Man Arcade 1-Up, or Pac-Mania, which I've definitely shown before. So that's moved to there. I was lucky. I was just about able to squeeze that in there to have room to open the door. So yeah, that's what I mean. I can't fit anything more in here now. And then to the side of that, I've got another poster, another cinema poster. That's a German one. King Kong Gegen Godzilla, which is, of course, Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. But yeah, they used to market it that way over there. They would, because King Kong was really popular, they would just randomly throw it in there. So they were basically insinuating that King Kong was inside Mechagodzilla's suit, which is kind of ridiculous, but also kind of funny. Then we've got some of my old rave flyers. These are all raves that I went to. I used to have tons of rave flyers, but I kept just the ones that I went to. And I've just displayed just a few of them there. Got some tickets there as well. Look, Tribal Gathering, Pandemonium. These were all mainly around sort of Plymouth Warehouse, Plymouth Pavilions, Plymouth Academy, Cornwall Coliseum, that type of thing. Yeah, a few more there. Tribal Gathering 95. That was my first ever rave there, actually, Euphoria, in Plymouth Warehouse. June 93. After that, I just went to shitloads of them. Loved it. Dance Planet, that was at Cornwall Coliseum. Sadly, Cornwall Coliseum, I think it's all like old people's homes or something down there now. But yeah, good times. And my old pub mirror, which I stole from a workplace many, many years ago. I used to work in a hotel and also in the bar area. And when I left, I thought I'm taking that Kilkenny sign. Really liked it. Or Kilkenny mirror. And then lastly, let's get up to the VHS section. So yeah, that goes right along. Thankfully, I've got enough room to open a door there. But yeah, I've got a nice little collection of VHS. Fitted in pretty much all the VHS that I wanted, thankfully. So there's a couple more I'd like to get. But yeah, they display really well, and they just about fit all of the ones that I wanted to buy. So they make a really nice display up there. And yeah, I can play those obviously on my little VHS TV, which I do quite a bit. I very often just put a film on and play games or whatever. Yeah, really cool. Really nice little space in here. Oh yeah, my SNES games. Most of these are my original SNES games, which I kept. Probably only really bought about 4 of them. So I think all bar about 4 of these games were my original ones. So yeah, so that's about it really. Another sip of tea, so I'll just give a little pan around in a minute. Lovely cup of that is. All right, so let's just have a last little pan around. But certainly really happy with how it's all come together. Oh yeah, that chair I upgraded to as well earlier this year. That's an IKEA one. I did spoil myself on that. It wasn't cheap, but it's mega comfy. It sort of leans back nicely. So yeah, there we go. So that is my little retro room. It's a tiny little room. I think I've crammed everything I can in here, but I love it. It's like not only retro, it's just sort of a nostalgia room. Oh, and these little things here, by the way. I got those recently from, again, from Al's Arcade. He threw them in with the that little Vectrex multi-cart. They were badges, actually, little pin badges, but I cut the little pins off because I thought, they'll display really well on the shelves. So yeah, they're just stuck on there. I thought they're really quite cool. So anyway, that is about it. So I hope you enjoyed that little room tour. Probably last one I'll do, I expect. Yeah, thanks a lot for tuning in. If you've got any thoughts or if you're curious about anything, got any questions, pop them in the comments down below. And I will finish up there. So thanks a lot for watching. I'll catch you another time. And that is all.